Humans are visual creatures, and whether you like it or not, people do judge you based on your appearance. And pretty privilege is real. But how much of it actually impacts a person's day to day life? And when does being pretty becomes more of a disadvantage and even a burden for some? There's a lot to uncover and talk about in this episode of Just Another Conversation. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you don't know, hi, I'm Anisha, and this is a little series on my channel called Just Another Conversation, where in each episode I pick up a certain topic and share my findings and viewpoint on it. And this week's topic is pretty privilege. So what does being pretty actually mean? Because beauty is so subjective and everyone's viewpoint on someone's outer appearance can be, well, extremely different. One thing's for sure, and I've seen it myself, that people do tend to consider and judge based on their cultural beauty standards. That literally goes in the back of their head. So, for example, in some cultures, men with facial hair are considered more attractive, while in other cultures, it might seem the other way around. Same goes with facial features, body weight, height, skin color, and all of that. I believe that there are levels to being quote unquote pretty, and the first layer is the regular tier, and most of the people would fall under this layer. So, in it, people are kind of normal looking, regular people, but when they do get dressed up or they do like put in some effort, they look pretty. So they won't get compliments on a day-to-day basis, but when they do put in some effort, they might get a compliment here or there. Like, hey, you look really nice today. So something like that. I would put myself in this category as well. It's not like you do get any pretty privileges, but also there are no disadvantages. So I'm happy to be here. Next are the pretty people. The pretty friend in a group. They don't need to put in a lot of effort into their looks. They can just like roll out of bed and they would look beautiful. They might also have like certain specific features that are noticeable, like a sharp jawline or a beautiful nose, and they'll get compliments daily, like just here and there, random people complimenting them. They can also get a lot of pretty privileges only because of the way they look. Then comes the top tier, people who are actually so pretty that they become icons. So these are the people that either earn money from how they look, or they are in a field where outer appearance and maintaining that outer appearance becomes really crucial. So actors, models, influencers, singers, all of these people who are essentially in front of the camera a lot, I'd say, are in this category. Let's discuss the advantages of being pretty. We all know that first impressions are really important, and even before someone introduces themselves, the actual first impression that you get is based on their outer appearance. And that's when being pretty comes in handy, because even before you introduce yourselves, people would have a liking for you because of the way you look. And for people who are not conventionally pretty, it's like a slight disadvantage because they need time to introduce themselves and introduce their personality and certain characteristics of them, showcase it in order for other people to, well, like them. A good thing is that people who are considered not conventionally attractive work on other aspects of their personality, while pretty people, for them, they are the pretty one, and sometimes it becomes their whole identity, which can be good or bad. But there are definite pretty privileges. People around you will treat you better, they will try to help you in situations, and you are not invisible to the world. People around you will flock to you, they would want to have a conversation, try to talk to you, try to be your friends, all because of the way you look. So even when you don't put in an actual effort, you are likable and popular. When you are considered like a really good looking person, it might be cases that when things are getting done for you, like without you even asking for it, things are getting done for you. So people will help you, go out of their way to help you. Sometimes they get free stuff, so free coffees or free drinks at a bar, things like that. do happen. People also put attractive looking people up on a pedestal, so they do have a leg up in social situations. In a workplace setting, I would say that it can be a two-way sword. In a field where you are facing customers a lot, or you are in sales or something where your interaction becomes important, you are in meetings, you are meeting clients, so in these situations you might get more opportunities. But in contrast, if you work in like an office environment, you're in front of the screen a lot, you are in a male dominating field, maybe like finance or something, then it can be more of a disadvantage because people don't look past your beauty. So it becomes more of a distraction rather than being an advantage for them. In this case, people might not take you or your viewpoints seriously. And for them, it's like even if you get a good opportunity or like a promotion, for them, it kind of instigates a negative connotation. They might feel like it's a byproduct of being pretty, or oh, you are so charming to the manager, maybe that's why, or you slept your way through it. Things like this might happen. Or people around you can get hostile, imposing their jealousy on you. People would not want to be friends with you, and you are there constantly proving your point, constantly proving your worth to your colleagues. In situations like these, if you know that you have pretty privilege, I think it's better to downplay that side of yours, especially in a workplace environment, and let your work ethic and other parts of your character shine through. I know it's sad, it's not your fault that you look a certain way, but in a situation, especially in a workplace where you have just joined, so if you're new to a certain office, then I think it's a smarter decision to take. And once you have established your worth in that company, then you do whatever you want to do. I'm sorry to say, but in our society, people just can't accept women being smart and good looking, like beauty with brains. For men, it becomes very intimidating, and for females, it becomes like a competition, like they are something like there's something to be jealous of. But if you think about it, men being attractive and having brains is considered like even more desirable and is idealized. But for females, it's kind of like people can't accept it. A benefit that comes with pretty privilege is, as the scientists call it, the halo effect. It's when you attach positive traits to good-looking people. For example, if you find someone attractive, you would also find them warmer and kinder, sweeter, more funnier, smarter, because you're attaching one positive trait and then associating other positive traits to it. And the other way around is also true. For example, if a pretty person makes a mistake, you would try to go past it, like brush it off, and then like take this as a genuine mistake. For example, forgetting to flush the toilet after they used. But if the same mistake is done by a traditionally non-good looking person, it might be harder for you to see past it. It might be harder for you to take it as a genuine mistake. You might have notions like, oh, that person is dirty or unhygienic, or they don't have manners. And that's just the preconception that you have with good looking people and associating good traits to it, and a traditionally not good looking people, and you are easy to attach negative traits to that person. And the same goes for the little quirks in your personality. It can be either considered quite attractive, charming, endearing, cute, or it can be considered very, very weird just based on how you look. Discrimination based on someone's appearance, aka lookism, is pretty common in our society, and like it or not, pretty people do have an effect on your psychology. A lot of people who have experienced a drastic change in their appearance or had a glow up of sorts, if you will say that they have experienced both sides of the story, and have experienced themselves, how people and their reaction towards them, their way of talking, their behavior around them have changed. And some people even have lost their really close friends because of that drastic change. And if you think about it, it must have had a huge impact on their mental health. For me, being pretty, like naturally having certain features or be good looking, is different from getting things done to your face and putting in effort and money to look a certain way, maybe do surgeries and stuff to maybe look more attractive. Both of these things are really different. And if you are someone who puts in that effort, puts in that money into your appearance to look a certain way, you might always find yourself to look for certain things in the market, the next new thing that would make you more pretty. I'm not saying that everybody experiences that. I'm saying that certain people do consider their worth based on how they look and how they are validated by external people and society. These people find themselves addicted towards the pretty privileges that they are getting. They are addicted to the compliments that they are receiving, and they find themselves worthy when they look a certain way. So if for some reason they are having a bad day, bad hair day, or like chipped nails like me, they would not feel their themselves, they would not feel the prettiest, they would not have the most confidence on that day, just because they are used to that external validation all the time. So for them, they are looking for the next new thing to make them more pretty, and they are ready to shell out money. And unless and until buying certain products, doing things a certain way, changing your lifestyle, maybe doing some surgeries and stuff, bring you joy, I think it's just flushing money down the drain. Because at the end, you should feel content with yourself. You should feel that you're doing something for yourself rather than doing it for external validation and for other people to give you benefits, pretty privileges, and for other people to give you compliments, you know? I'm just saying that do things that bring you joy and make your life better, and not for external validation and for other people to start liking you. But that's just some people. I'm not accusing everybody go that route. That's just like some people obviously do tend to go that way, and I think it's not healthy. But for most of the people who are like traditionally good looking or considered pretty looking, they do tend to know and acknowledge the fact that they have benefits, and some of them can even go a step forward and get more out of it, like getting yourself out there, starting a TikTok channel, which I'm gonna go ahead and say that a lot of the TikTokers, the popular ones, 50% of them don't even have the talent for it. They don't provide any value. They're just pretty, and they get millions and millions of views just because of how they look. And yeah, that's so bizarre. On a positive note though, I've experienced that pretty people do have higher self-esteem. It's because they are receiving compliments left, right, and center. They also have like people surrounding them and like hyping them up. So they do have a leg up. It like boosts up their confidence, and it just becomes more attractive, and they become more charming in a social setting. But if you're someone who links your worth with your outer beauty, when eventually the beauty fades away, or you don't receive as much attention because you're growing old or something, then it might come crashing down. Your self-esteem might go really down because of that fact. And disclaimer, I'm not saying that it happens to anyone and everyone that's good looking. I'm just stating that there are different scenarios, and I'm also not saying that old people are not good looking or pretty looking. I'm saying that for me, I think when you say pretty privilege and you associate being pretty with like youthfulness and being healthy and being young, you associate all of these things together. So when you do age and it catches on your appearance, I'm not saying that you lose being pretty and you're not beautiful enough. I'm saying that the benefits that you were getting may diminish because of it. It's just that you're still beautiful, you're still pretty, everyone is gorgeous. Yeah, so when that happens, it can negatively impact a person's self-esteem if you are someone whose self-worth is based on their appearance. People who are really pretty can taste the bitter side of it too. And as I mentioned, people around you can be jealous or insecure, or they might start distancing themselves from you, or try to spread like negative judgment of you just because they are they feel threatened around you, or they are very competitive. It has gone really dark outside, and I took a little break because my camera was discharged, so I had to recharge it. And now it's so dark, and now like it's like a very harsh shadow behind me, but I hope to like finish the video quickly. So yeah, because certain really pretty people do experience these kind of negative people around them, they tend to change their way to deal with them and become little more bitchy, especially females. Like they come out as bitchy because they have to deal with those people, and being goody two shoes doesn't always work. As I mentioned before, it is very true that with external beauty, a person garners more attention. A lot of this attention can be positive, but sometimes that attention can also be negative, in the sense that people would lust over you rather than wanting something of a real relationship with a solid foundation. And for really wealthy people, it can also be a factor of having a trophy husband or a trophy wife. Now I feel like a video thoda negative ja raha hai, so I think we should conclude it here. Essentially, what I'm getting to is that pretty privilege is real, and being prettier than an average person is acceptable and comes with its benefits. But being too pretty, on the other hand, is more of a disadvantage than being something that benefits you. But is that disadvantage bigger than the disadvantage of being not a good looking person? Like we discussed, attaching negative traits, or that assuming that they are at the wrong, or being invisible to the people, people not being friendly. All of these are also disadvantage. So being disadvantaged by being too pretty, is that better than getting disadvantage if you're not conventionally good looking? And who decides these categories? I mean, I'm just talking about how I think that there are different tiers and levels, but who is there to decide if there's a system or not? To decide these lines between different category, we have some real questions here. I also believe that physical features or outer appearance of a person is just one factor, and in our society, the wealth that you have, so your wealth and your social status, is actually far more important and impactful and considered more valuable than your outer appearance. So yeah, in a social setting, if you see, even if someone's outer appearance is not the best, but they have the wealth and the status, those people are more important and would be considered higher on the social ladder, or in our society in general. So I don't know, by this point, should we even be discussing this topic any further? I don't know. I just wanted to share my thoughts and what I found other people were saying on the internet on this topic with you guys. So now it's up to you if you want to continue the conversation in the comment section below, or you want to move to another recommended YouTube video. But before you go, if you like this video, please let me know by liking the video. And yeah, you can also comment down below, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I think it's time for ice cream. I should better be going. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you taking your time off, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you.